Hey, how's it going? This is Coach Alex. Today coming out with a video on the windup versus the stretch. Now, it might sound like a pitcher-only video, but base runners, if you're not paying attention, you're going to leave a lot of really good opportunities to advance in the base paths because you don't know what to look for. So I hope this video kind of speaks to everyone and we can all get better together. So here we go. Here's the difference between the windup and the stretch. Before we really dive into windup and stretch, I want to preface the video by saying that not all youth players need to know this information right now. For example, with my travel program, our 9U and 10U teams don't have free stealing. They don't have to go from the windup and stretch to hold guys closer and prevent early steals or big jumps. So again, this is, at least in my state of Massachusetts, mostly for 11U and up, or anybody in the pony diamond, 50-70, or in very rare cases, small diamond at very high levels of baseball. So, before we talk about the windup and the stretch and how we can look at their differences, we need to establish what they are. Now, the windup is the style of motion that we're probably most familiar with. It's the very classic 2 heels on the rubber, glove in front, we take a rocker step, we pivot, we lift, and then we drive and throw. Again, super common, kind of the stereotypical motion that we have in our heads. Generally it takes longer. We might get a little bit more velocity, maybe a little bit more control, but overall it's the motion we're going to use when there's no men on base, or base is loaded, or second and third. So moving on to the stretch. The stretch is a more abbreviated motion. With the stretch, we don't have both heels on the rubber, we don't take a rocker and pivot. We're just going to begin with our heel against the rubber, our front foot out here looking in for our signs, and then we would come set. Now, the reason that we use the set, or the stretch rather, is to be faster to home. We're going to use the stretch in any situation where a batter might steal a bag. We've now briefly covered windup and stretch, but now I want to go a little bit deeper into why the stretch helps us as a pitcher keep guys close to bags and prevent really big jumps. So again, the first thing is we're getting rid of the rocker and the pivot. Out of the stretch, we just have our foot against the rubber, have our foot out here, we get our sign. When we're in this position, we can turn our shoulders, look at our base runners, do whatever, so don't drop the ball. And then from here, you're looking in, getting your sign from your catcher. Okay? So catcher gives me a fastball, great, fastball sounds good. When I come set, that's when I bring my hands and feet together in one smooth motion, and I have to come to a complete stop. So if I come set and then go right into my pitch, that would be a block. Okay? So one more time, foot against the rubber, look in for my sign. Okay, let's say we have a man on first base. So look, we're there, okay, runner's not too far off the bag. I come set, fastball again. Now once I'm set, I can only turn my head. I cannot turn my shoulders. That would again be a balk. So I'm set here, only turning my head, check my runner. He's not too far off. Now from this position, there are 3 things that I can do. I can deliver home, I can pick off, or I can step off. We'll go into each of those 3 things in a separate video, but I just want to give like a brief little preview of what we can do in the stretch and why it's so important. Now, less on the pure instruction side and more on my experience and experience of my friends who are also pitchers and interviews that I've heard, things like that. There are times in our career where we may choose to go from the stretch because we just can't get it going from the windup. You know I've had days where for whatever reason, the windup wasn't working, I couldn't throw strikes, my off speed wasn't moving, I just didn't have it. And then so I kind of scrapped that. I go from the stretch, and it's much easier to then find the zone and maybe get my breaking balls to break more, my fastballs to run or cut more. It can be a major card to have in our back pocket there if we're struggling from the windup. My goal with this video is not to do a super deep dive into the windup or the stretch, just kind of give a cursory overview of them to kind of let you know that yes, there is a difference and that we should be looking for them. Some guys have major differences between their windup and stretch, other guys don't. A great example of that would be David Price. So David Price in the windup is almost completely sideways anyways, tiny rocker, quick pivot and goes, versus stretch where he's out here, comes set, and almost the exact same motion. Maybe why he's so consistent when he's good. So again, for base runners, it's really important to watch a lot of baseball and watch pitchers and try to differentiate their windup and their stretch. When can you take bigger jumps? When can you steal bags on first move? When can you go for extra bases on a wild pitch or a pass ball? But it's really, really important that we look for differences and be able to identify windup, stretch, guys who are slow in the stretch versus guys who are fast in the stretch. So wrapping this video up, again, windup and stretch, right? Windup we're going to use when a base can't be stolen. Sometimes we use windup with men on second and third, men on third, or bases loaded. Stretch can be used in those situations too. Stretch you have to use though if a guy can steal second or third base. They absolutely have to, can't be going giving guys free bases. So this has been Coach Alex. Any questions or comments, leave them down below. A like and subscribe is much appreciated. Stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you guys next time.